This is the morning weather briefing. This is for Friday, the 15th of March. This is James Spann. Parts of North and West Alabama getting a loud, noisy start to the day with thunderstorms. Let's go right to the radar. And we are live this morning at 5:10. And there's a look at the current situation. You can see a band of strong storms, in some cases severe, moving through parts of North and West Alabama. We have a warning in effect, a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for parts of Marion and Lamar counties in West Alabama for the line segment that is pushing into that part of the state. In fact, just in, the Weather Service has posted a tornado warning, which we did not expect this morning. But remember, when it comes to thunderstorms, expect the unexpected. This is in effect for parts of Lamar County. So let's go to the Columbus radar and see what's prompted this. Again, we're live here at 5:11, and we will do a split screen and take a look at the velocity display, and you can see the concern. It's going to be for this section of the storm, which is right there. And again, this is right on the Alabama-Mississippi state line, southwest of Vernon. And let's see here. Let's do this. Move that over a little bit. And the main concern here is going to be from strong straight line winds. But from time to time, we've seen these small-scale rotational signatures here. And again, you've got really that spot right there, which is the greatest concern. And let's do the animation on this. And these storms are going to be moving pretty quickly. And that area of rotation will likely be approaching the city of Vernon in Lamar County here by 5:20. That's about 8 minutes from now. So if you're just joining us, we have a tornado warning in effect now for Lamar County in West Alabama. This is the potential for a smaller spin-up type tornado, but understand all tornadoes are dangerous. And again, that will be approaching the city of Vernon. I know that the warning is in effect all the way from Millport, Kennedy, north to Sullivan, basically for most of the county. But again, the greatest concern, it's for that line segment that is approaching Vernon. So out of all of the communities, that would be the greatest concern. And of course, in a situation like this, we want you to be in a small room, bathroom, hall, closet, lowest floor, near the center, no windows. And we don't want people in a mobile home. That's the worst possible place to be during a tornado. And, of course, no cars. Same thing, worst possible place to be, a car or a mobile home. I know it's Friday morning. I know it's 5:13. It's awfully inconvenient, but understand that this is the right thing to do. It's a course of least regret. So, again, the Weather Service in Birmingham posting a tornado warning early this morning that is in effect for Lamar County. Let me get the expiration time on this. This is going to be in effect until 6 o'clock. And again, these tornadoes are very hard to warn for because they typically don't last long at all. And there's a chance the warning will certainly be canceled before 6 o'clock. And again, we've seen these small-scale circulations back across the state line in northeastern Mississippi, but that is the only tornado warning in effect, and I don't think we'll have any more, quite frankly. The atmospheric conditions really don't favor tornadoes, but sometimes they can happen. So again, if you're just joining us here, I promise we'll go through all the maps here in just a second. But again, there's really broad rotation. This is not especially tight. But the Weather Service believes that there might be a small tornado that is in that particular storm that is about 6 to 7 miles west of Vernon, moving in the direction of Vernon. So again, the call to action early this morning, it's for those that are in the community of Vernon in Lamar County to be in a safe place. And again, the severe thunderstorm warning polygon just was taken out and replaced. And again, notice along the rest of the line, we have no other evidence of any circulation, no evidence of any really damaging winds or large hail. The bottom line is there are no warnings anywhere in the state except for that one spot which is in Lamar County. what I'll do is join in on the Weather Service chat session and see kind of what's going on over here. Don't see any damage reports at this point. And again, I've got a lot of folks that follow me in Lamar County, and again, that's pretty broad at this point. The circulation is quite broad, so hopefully they'll cancel this here soon. So again, real quickly, if you're just joining us here, I know that this is typically a video where we do the forecast graphics, and we're about to go through those, but if you're in Lamar County and Vernon, the call to action is to be in a safe place. I really don't see a problem for Sulligent or the US 278 corridor up in the northern part of the county. And again, we're watching this spot right here and this spot right here, which is another potential circulation that is moving into the southern part of the county. So again, if you're down toward Millport, Kennedy, same thing. If you're, listen, respect the polygon. That's always the message here. If you're in the polygon, I'd be in a safe place. Again, the greatest concern, it's those two circulations, the one approaching Vernon and the southern one that will be coming across the southern part of the county. So we will be updating this situation here in just a moment, but that is a tornado warning in effect for Lamar County in West Alabama early this morning. But let's go back and show the rest of the state here real quick. And again, that's kind of the bigger picture, and you can see that we have no other warnings. The storms have been weakening on a steady basis over the Tennessee Valley. I know they're noisy, but understand severe criteria doesn't have anything to do with thunder or lightning or heavy rain. The severe criteria, what triggers a severe thunderstorm warning, it is large hail 1 inch in diameter or larger, or 58 mile per hour winds or greater. And again, we see no evidence of that anywhere within the line. And again, the main concern, obviously, was what's happening here in Lamar County with potential for a couple of tornadic circulations. And once again, let's put the velocity display here. And you can see those two areas we're watching. Again, this is just pretty broad, this circulation that's approaching Vernon, but still, you want to be in a safe place. And this one down here to the southwest, a little tighter. Not really classic tornado signatures at this point. And again, hopefully they'll cancel this warning here before 6 o'clock, but the warning's set to go until 6. So real quick, and we'll come back to this in just a second. My eyes are focused on all these monitors here. This is the big picture this morning. There's a deep upper low that's near San Diego, and we've had a rough night last night. We had some really violent tornadoes through parts of Indiana and Ohio, tornadoes in parts of Illinois, back down into parts of Missouri and Arkansas. Again, this is the broader radar composite this morning, showing that line coming into the northwestern part of Alabama, down into Mississippi, up into parts of Tennessee. And again, the trend has been for weakening for the past several hours. It's a mild morning. We got temperatures in the low 70s for Birmingham and Huntsville, Mobile. The cool spot, Dothan of all places, at 63. We do note there is a severe thunderstorm watch in effect early this morning for parts of North and West Alabama. This would include Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Huntsville, Gadsden, Scottsboro, Cullman, Jasper, Utah, Greensboro, York, Livingston. The counties in pink on that map. And then down near the Gulf Coast, we have dense fog advisories for Mobile and Baldwin counties. And again, of course, they've had some huge snow issues back in the parts of Colorado and New Mexico. So here's a look at the severe weather outlook for today and tonight. We've got a risk defined for a pretty good chunk of the state, and there's a level 2 out of 5 risk now for parts of Mississippi and central Alabama. The area's in yellow on that map. And again, the main concern, it's from hail and gusty winds. The wind profiles just don't favor tornadoes. And I know we have that isolated tornado warning early this morning, but I don't think we have a tornado problem today. The main concern coming from hail and strong straight line winds. And then tomorrow, we don't expect any severe storms. In fact, most of the state will be dry tomorrow with only isolated showers, maybe some thunder for South Alabama. And then on day 3, which is Sunday, we have a low-end marginal risk of severe storms for the Gulf Coast. This would include the southern part of Mobile and Baldwin counties. And again, the main concern will be from hail and strong straight-line winds. Rain for the next 7 days. Rain amounts for most of Alabama between 1 and 2 inches between now and Friday morning of next week. So once again, let's go back to our storm that is in Lamar County. And we're monitoring 2 circulations. One is right here that is just southwest of Vernon. And then another one which is down here in the southern part of the county, which is northwest of Millport. And these are both moving almost due east. There's a look at the animation. And again, they're relatively broad. And again, I'm just reading from the Weather Service chat session here. So far, they have no indication of a tornado from either one of these circulations. The circulations are moving east at about 30 miles per hour. And they just believe there's some potential that these could try and tighten up and produce a brief tornado. And if we get a tornado, these would be the short-lived little spin-up tornadoes. And again, these are so hard to deal with. If you have them, they get down for a few minutes and they just go away. But clearly, you can see that we've got those 2 circulations here on radar. And again, this is in Lamar County. This is in West Alabama. And again, if you're just joining us here, it's 5:22 on Friday morning. And I don't expect a big tornado problem. I honestly think this will probably be the only tornado warning of the day in the state. But again, with storms, you expect the unexpected. We say that a lot, and we mean that. So again, just to get your bearings straight, this is Alabama Highway 17 right here that runs down through Vernon down to Millport. That's a main north-south state highway on the far western side of the state. That's near the Alabama-Mississippi border. And obviously, you would not want to be driving along that road early this morning. And I know that a lot of folks have to go to work, and I know it's a school day, but again, your bosses should give you some leeway in a situation like this. So we're watching circulation number 1 just southwest of Vernon. That'll be crossing Highway 17, maybe a little southwest of Vernon. And circulation number 2, that'll be crossing Highway 17 a little north of Millport. And again, if you're in the northern end of the county, we just don't see any issues, no issues at all. If you're in Sulligent, we'll give you an all clear from this. Again, the highway up here, this is U.S. Highway 278. So for that 278 corridor, we just don't see any issues at all. So Sulligent, all clear. The concern, it's from Vernon south. And again, we'll go back to this in just a second. We'll kind of bounce back and forth between the forecast graphics and the radar. So let's look at today. Now, this is what the radar should look like at 1 o'clock this afternoon. This is coming off the high-resolution HER model. And again, you can see the band of storms pushing at that point down into South Alabama. So for the northern half of the state, the main concern with the hail, strong gusty winds, the severe potential this morning, and then this afternoon, the potential shifting down into South Alabama. And this is 6 o'clock this evening. The heavier storms now coming down toward Mobile and Dothan, Bruton, Atmore, Enterprise. And again, some of the storms down there could produce hail and strong winds, but the wind fields are not especially strong, and we certainly don't expect a tornado threat at that hour of the day down in South Alabama. So again, that band of storms slowly sagging southward during the course of the day today. The sky mostly cloudy. Highs will be in the low 70s. Now, the good news tomorrow, again, looks dry, really, for most of the state. I guess we could mention a slight chance of a shower, but we'll be in between waves. So that looks like your preferred day to do something outdoors. And then Sunday, the next wave comes in with a chance of showers again. There might be some thunder for the Gulf Coast, but for most of the state, probably just showers. Not raining all day Sunday. The better chance of rain most likely Sunday afternoon, Sunday night. High 60s for North Alabama, low 70s for the southern part of the state. Monday, we're dry, colder, highs in the 50s for North Alabama, and by Tuesday, a late season freeze likely for the northern half of the state. Lows between 25 and 32. And there could be some frost down into South Alabama early Tuesday, so growers be aware of that. Wednesday, we're dry. Thursday, a surface low begins to form in the Gulf, and clouds will likely increase. And this is a week from today, Friday, March 22nd. A trough moving through will likely bring some rain in here. So it looks like the better chance of rain next week will be Thursday night and Friday. Probably nothing heavy. It's not a severe weather look. Let's go out 10 days. This is Sunday, March 24th. We have a trough well to the east. And again, that looks dry. At the moment, that weekend looks pretty much rain-free. But we note another storm out there on the Colorado plains that could bring more snow for our friends in Colorado and Wyoming and parts of the high plains states. Rain for Birmingham, about 4 inches between now and the end of the month. And again, temperatures, you can see that potential for a late season freeze Tuesday morning. This is for Birmingham. Of course, your number could vary. But we've got 31. Many spots will likely be in the 20s next Tuesday morning. And quickly, the 8 to 14-day guidance temperatures will likely be near average. So if you are just joining us, we're watching a couple of circulations here in Lamar County. And again, let me just point out that the Weather Service is in agreement with us. They've taken out the polygon for the northern half of the county. So again, if you're in Sulligent, you've got no concern other than obviously rain, thunder, and lightning. The polygon is now from Vernon south. This would include Vernon, Millport, Kennedy. And we've got 2 rotations here. You've got this one right here and this one right here. And these are not especially tight. These are fairly broad. And again, we have seen no evidence of any tornado damage. I've heard of no damage at all from this line. But the Weather Service just believes that there's a chance they might try and tighten up. And as a course of least regret, they've issued a tornado warning polygon. The tornado warning is scheduled to go until 6 o'clock this morning for the southern part of Lamar County. And, of course, obviously, if you're in Fayette County, you'll need to watch this as the circulations continue to move on to the east. In fact, we'll animate this. In fact, let me kind of zoom it out a little bit. And you can clearly see the progression of that line and how we've got those 2 little spots where these things are trying to rotate. Again, we're watching all of the sources, and again, typically if something happens, we'll find out about it with all the social media traffic. And again, everybody's getting thunder and lightning. It's a noisy, rude awakening for a lot of folks across North and West Alabama this morning. And I should mention, this is the only warning in the whole state. There are no other warnings, no severe thunderstorm warnings, no tornado warnings. We've just got this one tornado warning for the southern part of Lamar County for these circulations that are evident right there. In fact, what I'll do is go back to the velocity, and we'll kind of take a look at the big picture. And you can see that we've got the band of storms itself stretching from Madison County, Huntsville, down through Decatur. Storms coming into Morgan County, approaching Hartselle and Faulkville, down into Winston County, approaching Smith Lake, down into Marion County, coming through Guin and Winfield, and then into Lamar County. And there's been a steady weakening trend with the storms. Again, if you're just joining us, I said this earlier, but to be considered severe, a storm has to have one of 2 things. Only 2 things can make a storm severe, and that's it. 58-mile-per-hour winds or hail 1 inch in diameter or larger. And there's no evidence of any of that along the line. They're just weakening storms, rain, thunder, lightning. But the only issue, we've got those 2 rotations over Lamar County. So let me stop it and let's go back to the velocity display, and you can see the concern here. And again, I'll just read. Jason Holmes is on duty at the Weather Service. And again, they're still broad. 2 well-defined circulations on the radar between Vernon and Millport. Thankfully, neither has tightened enough to produce a tornado at this time. The tornado warning remains in effect, however. with those signatures. And he also mentions that the storms could produce some strong straight line winds. But again, they're not just, it's possible we might see these things tighten up and there could be a tornado in here. But right now, those are not classic tornado signatures. But again, we have broad circulation just south of Vernon and about 5 miles northwest of Millport. The areas where I've got highlighted there. The northern circulation has crossed over Highway 17, just about a mile south of downtown Vernon. And the southern circulation will be crossing Highway 17 here in a matter of minutes, about 2 or 3 miles north of Millport. And so far, so good in that they just have not tightened up. And I just don't know if they can do that with the conditions we have here. But there's a little area of back surface winds in here. So, again, that's the situation. The tornado warning in effect until 6 o'clock this morning for the southern part of Lamar County. And, again, initially that was a really large warning. They pretty much had the whole county involved, but they've taken out the northern part. So, again, if you're in Sulligent, Beaverton, the US 278 corridor, no tornado concerns there. You're fine. There's the warning, the polygon is in effect for the southern two-thirds of Lamar County, basically from Vernon down to Millport and Kennedy. And again, trust me, I know it's 5:30 on a work day and a school day, and this is the last thing anybody needs, and it's very inconvenient, but we certainly advise no vehicles, no mobile homes. And in a site-built house, remember, in your safe place, the helmet thing is really important, where you want to have on a bicycle helmet, batting helmet, motorcycle helmet, football helmet. Most of the really serious injuries in a tornado involve blunt force trauma above the shoulders. And that is pretty important advice here. So, again, it's a little different video this morning. We're typically in a short 5 to 10 minute video with a look at what's to come here. And if you're just joining us, you'll be able to rewind this and watch that. We've already gone through all the maps this morning, but we're staying live because of these broad circulations in Lamar County. And I would suggest the Weather Service will not be extending this over into Fayette County, in that these have just not tightened up. And so far we've seen no evidence of a tornado here. But again, if you're on Highway 96, Fayette down to Kennedy and Millport, obviously you want to pay attention to this. Highway 18, I think that the main issue is going to be south of Highway 18. 18 runs from Fayette back over to Vernon. But so far, so good. Again, we have broad circulation number 1 and broad circulation number 2 coming through Lamar County. And the one thing we try to be cognizant of, and the entire weather enterprise understands this, it's reducing the number of false alarms. And the Weather Service in Birmingham has done a very good job of keeping their finger off the trigger, not issuing a warning. They're very cognizant of that because crying wolf, we know, leads to inaction. But in this case, they just believed down at the office at the Shelby County Airport that these two might tighten up, and they just thought a warning was needed early this morning. So we'll stay with it for a few more minutes. And for those that don't know, my schedule in the morning is pretty wild here. I do the weather on 24 radio stations around the country. I do the weather segment on ABC 3340's Good Morning Alabama, which is typically at 6:15 every morning. So we've got to do some radio, and we also have to write the discussion, the blog discussion for AlabamaWX.com. There's a lot of things that happen in this morning shift here in the morning, and I do need to get to those at some point. I am scheduled to speak this morning at Thorsby High School to see I think it's kindergarten through third grade down at Thorsby this morning in Chilton County, which I fully expect to be able to do that. And again, I stress, for the rest of this line, we have no problems at all, just a weakening mass of thunderstorms over North Alabama this morning with no warnings at all. This is the only warning that's in effect. It's a tornado warning in effect for the southern part of Lamar County, and this is basically in that broad area from Alabama Highway 18, which is the road from Fayette to Vernon, south down to Alabama Highway 96, which is that road that connects Millport and Kennedy. So if you're in between highways 18 and 96. Just be aware that we've got broad circulation. Again, these are not your classic tornado signatures here. They're very broad, and I don't think the Weather Service will be extending the warning as it moves over into Fayette. And again, we're watching the volume scans updating. The northern circulation really is just kind of gone away. It's very broad. It's a little tighter down here. That southern circulation clearly is the one to watch. And again, that's crossing Highway 17, Alabama Highway 17 right now, just about 2 miles north of Millport. And we'll see how that thing behaves. County Road 49 is the road that runs from Kennedy up to Kingville and over to Highway 17. If you're on County Road 49, a little north of Kennedy, same thing. You might want to just be in your safe place until this thing passes. Let me put on the reflectivity. And again, just old loud morning thunderstorms with thunder, lightning, heavy rain. And again, that's what we have for the rest of North and West Alabama. That's kind of the big picture. These storms should be in the Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Gadsden area by 6:30 to 7 o'clock this morning. And it's just a very low-end threat here. We've got a severe thunderstorm watch in advance of this, but with kind of so-so dynamic support and so-so instability, it's just not a major threat this morning. But having said that, there could be a few storms with hail and gusty winds. And again, we're just going to keep watching that segment for a few more minutes right in through here in Lamar County, where the Weather Service believed there was enough evidence to support maybe a brief tornado. And again, the northern circulation's trying to tighten up again. And there's your southern circulation right there. But watching the reports, we've got Lamar County EMA is on the Weather Service chat. And watching the reports coming in from social media, just not seeing any signs of most of the images I'm getting. It's snow from Colorado. And we did see some damage last night, some straight line wind damage. We had some damage up in parts of Franklin County, up at Vina. In fact, real quick, this was some of the damage at Vina High School last night. This is in Franklin County, and this is straight line wind damage. And you see, looks like a kind of part of an awning maybe came off the roof there and blew around. I don't think the damage is what I'd call major, but still, I know that Vina High School is closed today because of that. And Franklin County is running on a delay up there in northwest Alabama because of the storms that came through. These came through last night between 9 and 10 o'clock. And, of course, there was very severe tornado damage up in parts of Ohio and Indiana. So, again, it's 5:38 on a Friday morning, and this is James. We're staying with this a little longer. And, again, as we all kind of watch this together, I'm watching all of the social media reports coming in here. And we just haven't seen any damage from this early this morning, which is a good thing. And Jason down at the Weather Service says they're going to make a decision about Fayette County here shortly. Again, right here and right here, those are our two circulations that we're watching in Lamar. The southern circulation, and let me just say both of these circulations have crossed over Highway 17. So let's give an all clear Vernon, Millport, and points west. If you're along Highway 17 or points west, all clear. If you're along County Road 49, that runs from Kennedy back up to Highway 17, you want to be in a safe place right now. And, again, the polygon continues to shrink, as you can see, that red polygon. It's just a very small area of Lamar County. But I will say there's still some pretty good wind velocities in here. And from time to time, those things have tried to tighten up. And, again, what I'm going to do is stay with this, and we'll kind of wait and see. And if what happens if Fayette County happens to go under a warning, that will trigger the television side. Over on the TV side on ABC 3340, we'll go wall to wall for that. Evan Chickvera and Riley Blackwell, they're over at the TV side this morning. So that will trigger the television coverage. And again, these TV markets are very old school, and at some point it'll need to go away. But every county is assigned to a TV market. Lamar County is assigned to the Columbus, Tupelo, Mississippi TV market. Of course, Fayette County is in our market in terms of television. But again, all that's just so old school. That whole thing needs to just go away. In the new digital world, none of these DMA or designated market area county lines make much sense. So again, we're here for just kind of an odd situation this morning. We have a couple of circulations in Lamar County. We've got them circled right there. And that line segment is about, of course, the line segments into northwestern Fayette County. But if you're in the city of Fayette, just kind of stick with us here, and we'll watch this. And if by chance the Weather Service believes they need to issue a warning for Fayette County, just join us on the television side. And, of course, on the TV side, they stream live on Facebook and YouTube as well, like we're doing here. And again, I'm live on both those platforms right now, Facebook and YouTube here at 541. And they're just kind of coming and going with every volume scan, and they're still relatively broad. If you issue a warning, for every time you've got broad circulation, you'd have a whole bunch of false alarms. And I will say, and again, when the Weather Service defense here, these things look pretty tight at one point. And again, they're just watching the trends here. And gut feeling, they're probably not going to extend the tornado warning. What probably the course of action will be here is they'll issue a severe thunderstorm warning for Fayette County. And mention the possibility there could be a brief spin-up tornado in here. But let's go back to the reflectivity. And you can see that we've got the line of heavier storms into North and West Fayette County. It's moved into western Walker. And, of course, coming on through Lamar and down into Pickens. And other than that one little spot where you got that small tornado warning polygon for southeastern Lamar, there's no evidence of severe storms. And by that, again, large hail or damaging winds. It's just rude and noisy and not a fun way to start your Friday morning. And again, certainly up in the Tennessee Valley, the storms there's been a weakening trend pretty much all night with these. And of course, when this line came through areas far to the north last night, there were some really, really, really upper end tornadoes in through there. But again, we stress the wind dynamics are nothing like that in Alabama this morning. And the main concern, some small hail, gusty winds. But we've just got that one little spot where the winds were backed, and there could be a small scale, a little mesoscale low involved here where the winds back into the southeast, the low-level winds, creating that little small area of enhanced shear in relation to storm motion, producing those circulations here. But let's pop the velocity back on, and we'll animate that. And you can kind of see the history of those circulations coming through Lamar County. And there's two clear circulations on here. And they're relatively broad. This one right here, this one right here. And we'll just watch the next volume scan. Again, we're going to stay with this live on my platforms here for about the next 3 or 4 minutes until they make a decision on Fayette County. And again, I'll have to break away and go over to the television side with Evan and Riley that are working over there. And again, do some of the radio stuff as well. So just hang tight with us. Real quickly, I'll show you some of the damage from up north. And again, some of these images coming in from Ohio and Indiana, just heartbreaking. They had some very violent tornadoes in that part of the world last night. And obviously, we've had loss of life. I know at least 4 fatalities in Indiana. I quite frankly have not had a chance to look at anything from up there this morning. We're so busy with what's going on down here. But that's just a sign of the issues we had. And again, if you're just joining us, this is the broad risk for Alabama today. And the main concern is hail and strong gusty winds as the storms move on down to the south. There is a severe thunderstorm watch, not a tornado watch, a severe thunderstorm watch in advance of that line early this morning. By 1 o'clock this afternoon, this is what the projected radar will look like. The heavier storms at that point along and just south of US 80. So for the northern half of the state, the heavier storms coming this morning, and then by 6 o'clock this evening, the heavier storms pushing down into deep South Alabama, that zone from Mobile back over to Dothan, with only a few lingering showers over the northern half of the state at that point. And again, the good news, tomorrow looks mostly rain-free. This is tomorrow, and it should be a generally dry day across Alabama in the deep south. And then on Sunday, we might see a few strong storms near the Gulf Coast. But for most of Alabama on Sunday, just a few showers Sunday and Sunday night. Nothing as heavy as what we had this morning. So what the Weather Service is going to do, they're going to issue a severe thunderstorm warning for Fayette County. They're not going to issue a tornado warning, and I think that's the right call. In that these are broad circulations. We have had no reports of any damage. And so northern Tuscaloosa County will be in this severe thunderstorm warning. So there's your new polygon. It just popped on the screen here. Let me kind of back this out. We'll put on the reflectivity. So the tornado warning for Lamar County will be canceled here soon as the storms are pushing out of the county. And we now have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for southern Fayette and extreme northern Tuscaloosa counties. The severe thunderstorm warning will include, obviously, the city of Fayette, the town of Berry, and extreme north Tuscaloosa County basically from Samantha north. So that severe thunderstorm warning will be in effect this morning until 6:45, and the tornado warning will be going away. So again, just an interesting way to start the day. We've had no debris detected on radar. We've had no reports of any damage. But considering those broad circulations, the Weather Service, again, not extending the tornado warning. They are issuing a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for parts of Fayette and extreme northern Tuscaloosa counties. So having said all that, I need to disconnect here and go do the other chores. I'll be on ABC 3340 television at 6:15 this morning with Evan. And again, I will be at Thorsby this morning for kindergarten, first, second, third grade. That program scheduled for 9 o'clock. That is on. And don't forget, tomorrow it's a book signing. We're going to be in Rainbow City at the Union Jack Cafe from 10 to 1. Weather should be just fine. Should be a dry day. And again, we have so much fun at those things. So if you're anywhere in Northeast Alabama, come see us. Union Jack Cafe tomorrow from 10 until 1. And again, before we go, no tornado warnings. That warning for Lamar will be expiring here in a few minutes. It's basically expiring now because the storms are out of the county. The warning is now a severe thunderstorm warning for Fayette County and extreme northern Tuscaloosa County. We have had no reports of any tornado damage in Lamar County, which is a good thing. Those circulations stayed broad. They did not tighten up. And again, as soon as the storms exit Lamar County, that tornado warning goes away. So that's it this morning. Sorry for the length of this. I think we've been on here for, 30 minutes? But thank you guys for watching. We will have notes on the blog, alabamawx.com. And, of course, we do invite you to watch us on the television side, ABC 3340 News at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Have a marvelous day, and God bless.